The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Our masters!
What do these things want, and why are they here?
You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you. Blinded us to the truth.
Take a look. They are safe as long as they are not discovered.
I don't know what they are or where they came from, but we gotta stop them.
Stay away from me.
Put these on. They have us. Look at them. They're everywhere. Our owners.
We have no other choice.
I don't like this one bit.
Leave it alone, man. It ain't none of my business. Ain't none of yours. We have been lulled into a trance.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. We're in trouble. The whole world's in trouble.
Control us.
They're sending some kind of signals out of TV sets.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale.
Now we start spilling some blood.
Let's go.
Push a button.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
This is a new world order.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Yeah, that was the Reagan era.
That's why I'm saying, as was Reagan. And I don't think we can possibly overstate that. Not only is Donald Trump different from the establishment Republicans we have seen over the years, but there is a new world order in the Congress. He will have control of
some of these people, this is a new normal. They're never going to go back home. So they want to help them as much so that they're never just walking out of here and feeling like they're going back onto the street. They've worked with them throughout the process here to help them adjust to this new world order that they're going to be living in after this.
Oh, and I imagine there's so many questions, so much concern, and all of those people. It was almost like on cue when you're talking about the army of volunteers. A flock of nuns walked right behind you.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law.
How would you assess this evening?
This was a stirring address, in my view. Shorter than his father's speech when he announced the New World Order. Shorter than his father's speech when he announced the New World Order.
It was talked time and time again about a new world order. And this is the best chance to begin to establish the new world order.
Warned his people about the Antichrist, about Dajjal, the false Messiah. And the prophet Noah warned his people. But I say to you something that none have said before me. The Antichrist sees with one eye, his left eye. He's blind in the right eye. It looks like a bulging grape. But your Lord is not one-eyed.
The walls between races and tribes, natives and immigrants, Christians and Muslims and Jews cannot stand. These now are the walls we must tear down.
He will call to a false religion and bring something which resembles paradise and hell. But that which resembles paradise will in fact be hell, and that which resembles hell will in fact be paradise. He is the Dajjal, meaning imposter. The prophet further foretold that this liar would start to conquer the world, country by country, fortress by fortress, region by region, town by town. The one eye is one of the ways to recognize the Dajjal. The one eye is the symbol of the Freemasons. It is part of their beliefs and is taken from ancient Egyptian mythology.
Global corporations not only fund and develop large technological and military projects here and abroad, they also own the consumer industry and production, as well as all of the important media. By owning the vast majority of what we hear and see on a daily basis, we have been manipulated on a mass scale as to regards to what we believe and desire, both socially and politically. Edward Bernays, the nephew of world-famous psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud, would study group dynamics and become the father of public relations. He authored the book Propaganda in 1928. In it, he described how to intelligently and consciously manipulate the habits and opinions of the masses within a democratic society. He went on to state that those who harness this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government and are the true ruling power. It is they who pull the wires which control the public mind, who harness old social forces and contrive new ways to bind and guide the world.
Although costs at the pump are ready to break the dreaded $20 ceiling.
We got confidence! Confidence!
Across the nation, civil unrest has intensified with the demise of the U.S. dollar.
This is not a retreat, nor are we abandoning our Asian allies.
Under threat of annihilation by the Greater Korean Republic, Japan has surrendered.
Hours after the president ordered a freeze on bank withdrawals.
We don't know where we will get our next meal from.
Korea's annexation continues to spread. Today, the Greater Korean Republic launched their latest communication satellite, claiming it will bring a message of peace to the entire world.
When you go shopping, watch TV, read a magazine, or walk through the city, how well do you pay attention to the assault of logos that invade your space? Have you noticed the same symbols that show up in thousands of logos? Or have you fallen into a media-induced slumber, accustomed to the assault? Humanity has been conditioned by symbolism, and today we are bombarded by logos. The average American is exposed to 600 commercial messages each day. Some symbols and messages we recognize, and some we don't. And what we don't understand can be used against us. And don't think that it stops there. Religious organizations, governments, astrologists, secret societies, non-profits, and health organizations clearly understand the effectiveness of symbolism to communicate a message. Political campaigns are using subliminals in their ad campaigns. The entertainment and gaming industries know that symbols have emotional power and they play on it. The question is, do you know?
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth?
What?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch.
How can we be a secret
prison for your mind?
How can we be a secret society if we can't keep all of our secrets?
Do they know we fake the moon?
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is.
But that's not what I'm talking about. What about Bigfoot? Bigfoot's not real and everyone knows that. They figure out
you have to see it for yourself.
We found a fall guy for that one.
Bigfoot stuff not real.
No. Guess I have to agree to disagree.
What about Area 51? Do they know about that?
No. How about Area 52 to 54? Stop saying areas.
This is
No
your
areas
last
plus a
chance.
number. Literally hundreds of photos.
After this, there is no turning back.
Yeah, I saw them once.
You take the blue pill. The story ends.
Point is, someone is
You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want.
looking at you, Anne.
You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. I'm spaced out, dog. I be on that moon talk. I wonder if God asked Mike how to moonwalk.
Kanye West didn't just say that to be creative.
I'm gonna hit something. I'm gonna hit something right now. You gotta be careful, church, that we're not operating in Mystery Babylon. What is Mystery Babylon? It's hidden iniquity, it's hidden sin, it's hidden stuff that you can't see. It's stuff that we cover up. I'm not hearing nobody say nothing. I'm not hearing nobody say nothing. If you can't say nothing, it's okay. That's how I know the church is having a church experience. But we have not yet seen God.
Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, Who seeth us? And who knoweth us?
Take us back again, Mason.
Project Washington sends you next.
Most people do not know about this, and most people will never find out about this unless they see this video. But basically, if you don't know who the Illuminati is, they're basically an organization who mastermind events, and they try to control affairs through governments and corporations to establish a new world order or world government. So if you see NWO, that's New World Order. They also use numbers and symbols through subliminal messaging in video games, TV, movies, music, clothing, and through the media. The common symbols they usually use the all-seeing eye, which is also known as Lucifer or Satan. It's also common to see pyramids or triangles with the all-seeing eye at the top. And they'll also use the number 6.
Introducing the first laptop built for music. Only HP has Beats audio inside. It's the laptop remastered.
As well as other images of the devil and his horns. You can also see a lot of Illuminati symbolism on the back of the dollar bill. So I noticed the number 6 used in these stars that they put above where the power weapon usually is. And the second thing that I noticed was this logo symbolizing mind control, like global control with the globe and the book. And this freaking logo is everywhere on Aftermath.
Congratulations, Agent. Peace at last. You overthrew the world's most evil criminal masterminds and their dominant empires. You have returned law and order to Pacific City. You gave the people back their lives. Thank you. It's taken years of meticulous planning and patience to reach this stage, but it was worth it. Who do you think supplied Los Muertos? Who do you think turned a blind eye to the Volt's activities? Who do you think was Shai Gen's biggest supporter? Who do you think ran organized law enforcement and ran it into the ground? The people had to experience absolute anarchy before they would accept unconditional control. You are the portent of a new world order, Agent. Pacific City was only the beginning.
This is not my mind playing tricks on me. This happened.
The information that you are about to witness from all of my years of research is the most important. It's been hidden in plain view the entire time. This is the ultimate secret.
Kennedy died at 1 p.m.
Upon a time, there were two little girls who
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation. Every day, our senses are being constantly bombarded by subliminal messages that are found in TV, movies, and advertisements. The subliminal messages we are subjected to are unrecognizable by the conscious mind and only recognizable in our subconscious mind. The messages and imagery are passively absorbed and then stored in our subconscious, where propagandists deliberately implant artificial thoughts, which in turn can affect our actions and attitudes later in life. Experiments have shown that less than 1 minute after the viewer begins to watch television, the brain switches from beta-level consciousness, associated with active and logical thought, to alpha level, which is associated with passive acceptance and suggestibility. This is why advertisers spend billions of dollars a year on commercials, as well as product placement within TV shows. Political messages are implanted in fictional TV programs as the relaxed, meditative state of the viewer is receptive to the programming. One example is AMC's Breaking Bad television series, as it depicts a meth villain as a Ron Paul supporter.
I looked him up. It was one of these physicists, one of Hitler's guys, a physicist named Werner Heisenberg.
The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed. Our minds are molded, our tastes are formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we've never heard of. This is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized.
Now, I also mentioned too that a fellow that has been in touch with me for an awful long time, his brother was in the CIA, or is in the CIA. He will never talk about the CIA to him. He'll never give anything away whatsoever, except one bit of advice. He said, never watch the television. Never watch the television. It's the greatest scientific indoctrination tool ever devised.
Mind control is one of the tools that they use. How they get you in the condition to be controlled is by using certain signs and symbols, frequencies, tones, colors, shapes, numbers that they hide subconsciously in the frequency of the music and in the 23rd frame, I believe, on TVs and the movies. Look at the movie-going experience. We go in and we buy butter, popcorn, and Coke. You're actually buying cocaine and you're buying this chemical called popcorn. Why do I call it a chemical? That butter is not really butter. But when you put it on the popcorn and you put it in the microwave, it becomes a chemical that lulls your subconscious mind to sleep. inducing you and luring you to sleep, so by the time you walk into a dark movie theater, you're already prepped. You're laying there, you're damn near dozing off. You're focusing in on a screen in the dark with the surround sound, and they're attacking your subconscious mind with frequencies and images. Go to The Arrivals on YouTube. The Arrivals. A-R-R-I-V-A-L-S. The Arrivals. Go to number 10 and watch it through number 12. And you'll see exactly how they pull this off. When you leave the movie theater, you're almost punch drunk. You leave the movie theaters with your breast filled, wanting to be the hero, or wanting to be the damn damsel in distress, wanting to be the corny white girl that fall down at every damn horror flick. Are you following me? So we have to understand it. So now to the small screen, they keep the small screens filled with nonsense. Channel Zero, I wrote a song with Public Enemy. Channel Zero is what we call it, which actually amounts to absolutely nothing. I don't care if it's the daytime stories or these unreality shows or MTV Cribs, Pimp My Ride, or whatever. Absolutely nonsense.
If you watch streaming, don't do it, because one of the implementations is the box that you have to get for your cable TV. And that is one of the ways that they have found out that certain sound waves can control you.
So there are sound waves.
Yeah.
There's sound waves that come out of the cable box.
That comes out of your TV.
That come out of your TV.
They can tweak it. They can tweak it to where they can make you feel sad, they can make you feel glad. You know how people have those super harmonious CDs that pop and everything, they feel good?
Yeah. Oh.
It's the exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
And it's very simple, it's very cheap, it works.
And you pay a monthly premium for it.
Staring at me, Malcolm X put a hex on my future, someone catch me. I'm falling victim to a revolutionary song, the Serengeti's clone. Back to put you backstabbers back on your spinal bone. You slit your disc when I slit you my dish. You wanted to diss but jumped on my grown. Men never should bite their tongue unless you eat that smell like it's a stale plum. Visions of Martin Luther staring at me. If I see it how he seen it, that will make my parents happy. Sorry mama, I can't turn the other cheek. They wanna knock me off the edge like a widow's peak, and she always told me pray for the weak, them demons got me, I ain't prayed in some weeks, dear Lord, come save me, the devil's working on. He probably clocking double shifts on all of his jobs.
Satan knows that secular songs glorifies sin, because while you're listening to it, sin is on your mind, like lust, partying.
It's that time of the week she like to freak a leak and get naughty. Therefore I like to thank God and Ice Cube for Friday, cause la-di-da-di.
Drinking, smoking, violence,
I ain't never touched the gas that I couldn't shoot,
and rage. Satan promotes the different styles of music with a secular artist, like hip-hop, rap, R&B, pop, rock, and metal.
Like off-the-record interview, he was being interviewed for Ozone magazine. This is why I say Lil Wayne is the devil. It speaks for itself. I want y'all, first of all, I want to say one thing to y'all. Y'all know tattoo tears. When people say they have tattoo tears, that means that they have murdered someone before. And that's what Lil Wayne is implying in this audio, but I mean, it's way more in the audio. Just listen. I want you to drop the music too, Red Chris. Drop the music, drop the music. I want the Tri-State to really hear this. Philly, Jersey, Delaware. This is the man you love, Lil Wayne. Listen.
We don't play no with that. I'm not gonna rap about you, and I will murder you, your family, your child. If it's a newborn, I don't give a I could never go to hell because I'm gonna take over.
You'll murder a family? You'll murder a child? You'll murder a newborn? Through songs y'all request on the radio? That's who you let your children listen to, people? Huh? That's who y'all idolize? That guy? Are you serious?
See, the Illuminati says you have to be born of fire. The lower chakras, the lower energy. Are you following me? I'm wrapping this up in a second. He had to be born of fire. And Kanye West, and back me up on this, Kanye West said it recently, didn't he? What did he say? He said he couldn't wait on God. So he sold his soul to the devil.
Artists be too scared to stand up for something. They scared to lose their fucking house. Or they scared to lose their record deal. I sold my soul to the devil.
We must be over the rainbow.
Ease on down. Ease on. Down the road. There it is. Ease on down. Ease on. Down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. There it is. Dorothy, look! Ta-da! Woo! Come on, Dorothy! Come on! Woo! Come on now, ease on down the road. Come on, ease on down the road.
Please, sir, we've done what you told us. We brought you the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West. We melted her.
Oh, you liquidated her, eh? Very resourceful.
Yes, sir. So we'd like you to keep your promise to us, if you please, sir.
Not so fast. Not so fast. I'll have to give the matter a little thought. Go away and come back tomorrow.
Okay, he's not responding. I'm gonna need an 18 gauge, left AC, right away.
BP is 90 over PALP, respiration's at 8. Okay, I'm tubing him.
DMC, this is Medic 41.
Medic 41, this is DMC base. MIC and Betty, go ahead. He's cold. Spike a bag and grab the backboard.
Okay, got it. On 3. 1, 2.
Fellow Americans, it is with the utmost pride and sincerity that I present this recording as a living
Jay, Rain Man is back, so little bit sunshine, nothing when you
thing I always keep a spare boat by the river. Hop on! The ride might get a little rough.
Couldn't be.
There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. There's no knowing where we're rowing or which way the river's flowing. Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a-blowing? Not a speck of light ashore, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are flowing!
A symbol is anything that is agreed upon to designate something else. The advantage of symbols is that they may communicate complex concepts while being simple in and of themselves. Most symbols are simple drawings that consist of a few pen strokes, while other symbols are objects or actions. The diamond on a wedding ring, for instance, is a symbol. Imagine all the things that can be inferred about a husband who gives his wife a wedding ring mounted with a piece of glass or a random pebble instead of a diamond. An apple is just a fruit, and yet has been commonly associated with education, wisdom, and teachers. A wink is an action, but also a symbol. It is often used to communicate sexual interest, or to convey a hint. The symbol, whether it's a drawing, action, or object, often conveys a message far more complex than the symbol itself. The foundation of all symbols is agreement. When a symbol is repeatedly used in the same context, agreement regarding that symbol's meaning is formed. As time progresses, the symbol's meaning solidifies. If symbols are used randomly, with constantly changing meanings and associations, they fail to be symbols at all. After all, what good is a symbol that means something different each and every time you see it? Illuminati symbolism, used in popular culture such as movies, novels, and TV shows, isn't used randomly either. Believing that all-seeing eyes, pyramids, and suns are inserted into random places in a movie is an easy mistake to make. But let's think about that. Let me take you to a backward universe where the meaning of symbols is arbitrary and random. A world where hospital signs lead to fire stations and elementary schools. A world where the play and pause symbols have no bearing on what the buttons actually do. A world where radiation signs, biohazard symbols, don't walk signs, and dollar signs are placed randomly throughout the city and used interchangeably. You get the idea. If used randomly and without repeating context, the symbol fails to be a symbol at all. We don't use symbols randomly. We can't afford to, and neither can the Illuminati. The Illuminati is more dependent on symbols than most, and the reason is that it allows for secure communication no matter where the messages are located. As long as the masses are kept outside of that symbol's agreed upon meaning, any message can be hidden in plain sight. And, as stated earlier, not all symbols are drawings. This is so important to remember as we move forward.
people still today think that all entertainment is therefore nothing more than entertainment. It never ever was that case.
What we see here is that this is actually all based up into psychological warfare done by military intelligence, wrapped up with occultism.
They've been programmed. I'm sad because I know that it's hard for people like that to take a serious interest in world affairs. I see how easy it is for the masses to be manipulated.
It's a psychic weapon to blind people from all the majesty and beauty that is creation.
have to understand the secret societies, the fraternal orders that are operating within our border. And the people who are in power in this country are working for our enemies. They are using the terms and the symbols and the words and the catchphrases of the European secret societies. They are working for our enemies. This is why no matter what you do, nothing is going to work, because the people of this country don't understand the symbols.
The power of hidden symbols was alluded to by another writer, this time Foster Bailey, in his book entitled The Spirit of Freemasonry. Quote, "A symbol veils or hides a secret, and is that which veils certain mysterious forces. These energies, when released, can have a potent effect." Unquote.
What's going on, Jordan? What do they want? Why are they doing this?
It has to do with the objectives of some extraordinarily ancient secret societies, fraternal orders that have in mind the total domination of the human race.
Symbols are a language that can help us understand our past. As the saying goes, a picture says 1,000 words, but which words?
Spencer, tell me something about the sun.
The sun, the symbol of the light, Lucifer, the intellect, the gift, primordial knowing.
They don't worship darkness. Can't people see that their symbolism is entirely to do with the light? So when we're understanding about the sun, when we're understanding about light, when we're understanding about Luciferianism,
the kind of knowledge is on a need-to-know basis, and the powerful people in this world figure you don't need to know. This is the secret communication among powerful people around the world that are playing jokes on the working class poor and the working people of the world. Have no idea in the world how this stuff is really being played. That's why I've always believed that there is a legitimate, de jure, magical system that is being used and employed to manipulate the whole human race, and we don't even see it.
The secret is simply the fact that certain of their members worship Lucifer, and that they keep that secret from the overwhelming majority of their own members, and certainly the public is never to know this fact if they can help it. And the evidence to support that conclusion is ample, but only to one who cares enough to look for it. The problem with most people is they don't care enough to look for anything. So why the secrecy? The secrecy is because, folks, the real secret of Mystery Babylon is how to control everyone else. And if they reveal these secrets, they won't have the control, for it'll be in the hands of everyone. That is the greatest secret of the secret societies.
I've been looking at this one subject of the hidden words, terms, catchphrases, symbols that the Illuminati uses around the world, and I am just amazed how it's right here in America in your face, and people have no idea in the world. We have no idea.
They were brilliant. They're brilliant to be able to hide this.
In plain sight, right in front of you.
we're talking again about symbol literacy generally in life when it comes to advertisements, you see, or media, or video games, or even symbolism, art. It's very important for people to realize the subtextual messages that come across. And since people watch a lot of movies, and since movies are now, in our day and age, you know, $1 million creations, they're in your face, it's actually handy for people to watch them objectively also, like a critic, and see some amazing stuff that's, you know, being told to us through the films.
With each new dawn, I see the sun god rise on the far bank of the Nile.
Deadly fun, but all soak in the sun, that's it! Devil's Snare hates sunlight. Luma Solem!
Tony, you will cause the reflection of the sun on the rear window to magnify and shine so brightly that our pursuers will be blinded by it.
And I can tell you now that most of us have been living in fantasy land for all of our lives. We don't even know anything near what the truth of any matter is. We must begin an honest search.
Now Osiris has as a symbol an eye, and that eye, of course, is the sun. And this eye represents the son of the underworld.
Quote, the arcana, defined as being a secret or hidden knowledge of the ancient mysteries, were never revealed to the profane, defined as those not initiated into the inner mysteries, except through the media of symbols. You're going to find, folks, that symbols mean more than you will ever begin to understand unless you've waded deep into the stream of the mystery Babylon, as I have.
This symbol in the Egyptian was a ball of light surrounded by radiant rays. Therefore the sun was radiating in all directions, lifting up everything that came in contact with, bringing death to life out of the earth. That part of the world where the sun was above the horizon was the good part, the life part. Night was the dark part. Night was darkness, mystery, and death. Day was light, brightness, and wisdom.
The symbols and the words, the terms, you start breaking it down. It's in Hollywood, it's in movies, it's in music. I don't even know what to say about this. It's just so overwhelmingly obvious to me.
They don't worship darkness. Can't people see that their symbolism is entirely to do with the light? So when we're understanding about the sun, when we're understanding about light, when we're understanding about Luciferianism.
But the sun was there as a symbol of order, life, resurrection, fertility, and inwardly of the illumination of the soul.
In all time, truth has been hidden under symbols, wrote Albert Pike. And he also wrote this, symbols are nevertheless ingenious veils that cover the truth.
Once the knowledge was available, nothing could put it back again into secrecy. The only answer to this problem was to keep it secret from the beginning. Now, the problem of secrecy was largely in the hands of a philosophical priesthood, or perhaps we might say a great theological structure.
It's a worldwide thing which is going on, and the people of this earth have no comprehension whatsoever of who's doing it and how it's working. And until we do that, we're just going to keep going further and further in and never realizing who's doing it to us and how they're doing it. It's a very high technology.
The individual who desired knowledge and recognized the need of it was placed under certain restrictions, must take obligations, must prove through long training and discipline worthiness to receive knowledge. It was the purpose of these ancient teachers to make sure that nothing important to the advancement of man could be captured and held by selfishness or ambition or avarice. It was necessary, therefore, to select the custodians of knowledge.
The question of just what the ancient mysteries were, folks, was answered in part by Albert G. Mackey, another 33rd degree Mason. Quote, each of the pagan gods had, besides the public and open, a secret worship paid to him to which none were admitted but those who had been selected by preparatory ceremonies called initiation. This secret worship was termed the mysteries, unquote.
This is the same genuine, magic, authentic crystal used by the priests of Isis and Osiris in the days of the pharaohs of Egypt.
No, it's a pagan god Horus and his mother Isis centuries before the birth of Christ.
Light can conceal as well as reveal.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
Light can blind and burn, you know, and that's what the Illuminati are calling themselves the men of light, or the princes of knowledge, or the Luciferians for a reason, because they know how to manipulate and use light as a weapon.
Quote, ancient secret doctrine, which is concealed in Masonic allegory and symbolism, It was but to preserve these truths that Masonry was perpetuated, unquote.
Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions, with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert, and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people.